I'm Vinnie Politan. Thank you so much for joining us here on Closing Arguments. I want to begin this hour in a story out of Nevada. A young woman was at a Walmart. It was early in the morning. There she is. Her name is Naomi Irion, just 18 years old, and was going there because that's where she picks up a bus to get to work. And she was spotted on surveillance video at a convenience store. And then she took her car to the Fernelly, Nevada Walmart to catch the bus so she could go to work. But she never came home from work that day, and her car was found nearby the Walmart days later. Now, there's a suspect, you're looking at him, who was caught on video wearing a mask and a hoodie. He was seen approaching and apparently getting into Naomi's car around 5:23 a.m. on March 12th. Now, police are searching for this man along with a vehicle that they're looking for as well. It's a dark, late model, half-ton Chevrolet 2500 high country pickup truck. So this is the information that they are releasing now. So what exactly happened here? You know, she's in her car getting ready to catch a bus, and this guy's kind of lingering around and apparently gets into her car and abducts her. Let me play for you the sheriff out in Lyon County, Nevada. They had a public press conference because they need your help. They need your help tracking down this car, tracking down this suspect, finding Naomi. Let's take a listen.
Well, we know so far that we're able to release on March 12, 2022 at approximately 05:09 hours, Naomi parks at the Fernley Walmart. It's located about 1550 East Milledge Drive in Fernley. At approximately between 05:09 hours and 05:23 hours, Naomi is active on social media, which is common according to her family. At 05:23 hours is her last Snapchat ping. We know that she was active on social media up until that point and active on her cell phone. At 05:24 hours, the suspect approaches Naomi's vehicle. And at 05:25 hours, Naomi's vehicle leaves the Walmart parking lot with the suspect driving the vehicle. On March 15, 2022, Naomi's vehicle is recovered, and we're currently processing all evidence with that. Here's some still images from the video that's already been released. We will provide you guys all with a copy of these images and a copy of this video after this press conference. Here's a quick video of the suspect walking. As you notice, it's been on social media that there's the way the suspect walks, his clothing description, all that stuff is imperative to leading us to a possible identification of the suspect. Here's a map provided to us from the FBI of Naomi's cell phone mapping images, basically showing that she was active at the Walmart parking lot between 05:09 a.m. and 05:25 a.m. Lyon County, with assistance of the Washington County Sheriff's Office Search and Rescue, Lyon County Sheriff's Office Search and Rescue has conducted multiple searches through the air and on the ground looking for Naomi. The prior image, I'll back up that real quick. This cell phone mapping led us to an area off of Highway 427 and Hill Ranch Road in Wadsworth. That's why we were out there searching in the previous days. Lyon County citizens have also done a search. Everybody's doing everything they can right now to look for Naomi. Right now, our biggest thing is to reach out to the public. If somebody knows who would have been in that Walmart parking lot or should have been in that Walmart parking lot during the time frame that we released, please contact us. If anybody knows somebody who has access to the vehicle that we're looking for, it's a 2020 or newer 2500 or 3500 high country model. It's dark in color. If you know somebody who has that vehicle or has access to that vehicle during this time frame, please reach out to us. We've been working with agencies all over the nation, federal agencies and local law enforcement. The thing I'd like to point out too is Naomi's 18 years old. She's approximately 5'11", approximately 240 pounds. She had brown hair and green eyes. She has a septum piercing and piercings in both of those nostrils. She also has a smiley face tattoo on her ankle. We detached her right ankle. And she was last seen with a dark colored purse. The images that have been previously released show her clothing description of a blue Panasonic shirt. She also had an iPhone on her person, AirPods, and she's known to carry a fidget spinner. Our suspect that we released the videos and images of is an adult male, approximately 6 feet in height, and the clothing description speaks for itself in the videos.
Okay, there's a lot to go through here, and I really want to break it down piece by piece. Let's bring in our investigators. Joining me tonight in Palm Springs, California, retired FBI special agent and producer of Indivisible Healing Hate, which is streaming on Paramount Plus. Bobby Chacon is with us. And in Salt Lake City, Utah, retired police commander and host of the Profiling Evil podcast, Mike King, also with us. Great to see you both tonight. Bobby, I want to start here with what we think happened and why we think that's what happened here. Let's go to that parking lot, that Walmart, 5:20 in the morning on March 12th. Bobby, I'll start with you. What do you think happened there?
Well, this is conjecture, and I only know what's been reported publicly, but the gentleman on the video, who they think was the guy that got into a car, came from a nearby homeless encampment, or he was seen walking from the direction of a nearby homeless encampment. If he, in fact, lives there or lived there, and was able to observe the morning routines of these people coming and going, and by accounts I've read, Naomi had a very specific routine. She parked in the same spot. She usually got there early so she could do some last minute social media posting before everybody else got there and before the shuttle over to her employment came. So I think that she had a routine. I think this person may have observed the routine, may have lied in wait and been waiting for her, knew that she'd be there early, knew she'd be alone if she's there that early, and then approached the car. There's some different reporting on whether he forced his way into the car. He said something to her that made her move over to the passenger seat. Then he got into the vehicle and they drove away. He could have threatened her. He could have brandished a weapon. We haven't seen that video. That video hasn't been out yet. But I think that this guy knew the routine. He knew that she'd be there, and he was lying in wait. As soon as she pulled up, he wasted no time in approaching her vehicle and abducted her.
All right, Mike King. Let's pick it up from there. He gets inside the vehicle. Where are they going, right? The car is found relatively close to where they are. So what happens in the next phase of this? Because we're searching for him, we're searching for her. What could have possibly happened between the time that they get into the car to the time that the car is then left behind and something else happens here?
I agree with Bobby that this is an orchestrated, targeted event. The question is, was it a planned event, and could she have possibly been involved, that they were meeting to head off somewhere together? I think that's really less likely in this case, but it has to be considered as we think through this. But as part of this entire guise, it appears that there is this opportunity to get in the vehicle. So does he say, hey, I need help getting something, or can you help me jump a car? But somehow he gets access to this young woman, gets into her vehicle. It appears he then travels a short distance through the parking lot to where his vehicle is waiting, and then gets her into that vehicle somehow. I think the vehicle really is interesting, Vinny, when we start looking at what we're seeing, and if the images are accurate and the descriptions are accurate. This is a 3/4 ton pickup, so that's a little heftier pickup than most of us drive when we're throwing our lawn clippings in. It might be somebody who pulls a horse trailer or something like that. And as we look at the way this person walks, if we look at cameras in the area, especially at those inside that Walmart or at the convenience stores around the area, I suspect that someone's got some video somewhere that would really help police get a closer look at the face of this individual. But again, that truck's pretty unique. It's got pretty shiny chrome wheels, which means it probably isn't a farm work truck, but it might be a truck that pulls horses around or something like that. So we start looking in the area. We start looking at things in the area like the registered sex offenders. And it's not an indictment just because someone has had that background, but the state and Washoe County there keep very clear records of what a registered sex offender uses as a preferential victim. And there are a batch of houses to start looking at. When I looked online, there were at least 76 registered sex offenders just in that immediate area. So there's some footwork that needs to be done immediately. And then you got to start looking at the cell tower analysis that the Bureau has done and the azimuth or the direction that that tower was pointing, and what kind of information can we start to extrapolate from that to the point of the last ping on the phone, and whether something can be gained from that. There's a ton of evidence available. It's just piecing this all together, and it really boils down to somebody is going to recognize that truck. They're going to recognize that gate. I doubt that a 3/4-ton pickup truck is traveling from Sacramento to Salt Lake City on that route that travels through there. It's probably going to be somebody close by.
Yeah, Bobby Chacon, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that area of the country. Now, this is taking place in Nevada, but it's the part that's closer to Reno rather than closer to Las Vegas. What are your thoughts about that area of the country and how that helps or hinders this search for Naomi and the search for the suspect?
Well, I think, Vinny, Vegas and Reno both have a certain transient population to them. They have people that come and go a lot, and people that come and stay and lose all their money and then become, a problem. But I think there's a certain transient population that visits places like that. And so that makes it more difficult. Was this person just passing through? Mike just said that maybe the pickup truck is a tie to the local area. So again, when we go back to a case like this, there's two worlds that we deal with. There's the world of the victim. Did somebody want to do this person harm? And there's the world of this location. So who frequented this location? Who frequented these places? So that's where your suspect pools come from. And then you look at the crossovers and who was in both those worlds, or if there is anyone in both those worlds. And so, you start with the car. You may have. We know from the police statement that they said, and they didn't say what it was, but they said there was evidence of a crime occurring in her vehicle. We don't know if that's blood, DNA. We don't know if it's just broken things, like someone struggled in there and things got broken. But the statement was to the effect that there was evidence that a crime took place in her car. So maybe there was a struggle. Now, I was involved in a serial killer case where he abducted someone similar, but it was out of a coffee kiosk in Alaska. And he told the person, I just want your money. I'm not going to hurt you. Do what I tell you. So they say things like that to gain compliance. So we don't know what was said between the two of them, whether he brandished a weapon, whether he said he had a weapon, whether he said he was only interested in money. We don't know any of that, but those are all possibilities on how he gained compliance, how he got her to move from the driver's seat where she was over to the passenger seat so he could get in and drive away. We just don't know any of that yet.
Let's take a listen to Naomi's family because they also spoke. You can't imagine what they're going through tonight, but let's listen.
I want to ask everyone in the public, if you have seen this truck, even in the corner of your eye, oh, that's a big blue truck, please call Secret Witness or the Lyon County Sheriff Department. If you know of somebody who has a big blue new truck with the chrome and all that details on it that's in the picture, please call the Secret Witness or the Lyon County Sheriff's Office. So if you find any of that just laying out, please call. It could be vital to saving her life. And that's our #1 goal right now. Please save my daughter and bring her home. Please, anything, any little tiny bit of information, please call.
And if anyone in the public has been or knows somebody that was at the Walmart parking lot in Fernley between 4:30 and 5:30 a.m. on the 12th, please come forward. I don't care if you were just going to the store or whatever. Get in contact with the Sheriff's Department. They need all the information that they can get. I don't care if you don't think it's significant. If you were there, it could be vital.
No piece of information is too small to report at this point.
Mike King, it is now March 22nd. This happened on the 12th. We're talking about 10 days. Do you think we are looking for the suspect and Naomi still in the same place? Or do you think we are searching for her in one place and the suspect somewhere completely different?
These are so challenging because you think about the fantasy process that's going on in the predator's mind when they go and stalk and then take a victim like this. It's really difficult to say, Vinny, because we don't know if that predator in their wacky mind somehow think they're having a relationship and they're trying to maintain and have an ongoing relationship where this person's trapped and being held against their will, or if they're a more sadistic kind of a predator that could go as far as terminating life. And that's really a difficult thing to imagine and think about, but we have to consider that. And so law enforcement has to start establishing grid searches. They have to start looking at all of the information they have in databases, and they've got to be going through every bit of those cameras. I thought of Bobby's comment about gambling, and it really hadn't struck me, but they've got to be talking to the casinos and getting all the video there, because this guy surely has worn the same clothing. He surely has worn that same pair of boots, and he surely has been hanging around in that parking lot trying this in other places. While she may have been his preferential victim, he would have also been the kind of guy that would have taken some kind of a substitute along the way.
Bobby, is there anything about the video of the suspect that would help to identify him? Do you think if someone knew him, whether it was a friend or an acquaintance, would be able to recognize him from this video? Because like all these surveillance videos we get, you see something, but you don't see everything that you need.
Well, I think there's a real possibility, and Mike's right. I think that I would be scouring every convenience store video, every gas station video around there from the days prior leading up to this event and even after. Because if he in fact came from that homeless encampment, he probably doesn't have much clothes, and Mike's right, he probably has worn these clothes over and over again. So maybe he was standing in line at a convenience store 2 days before this in those same clothes. So I think it's really important to get this video out there, and it's more important to scour every video in the area for anything. Nothing is too small to review. I mean, it takes a long time and a lot of eyes to do that, but that's what, now that we know what he looks like, we know not the face, but we know the clothes, you can match those clothes up to casino videos, convenience store videos, gas station videos, and I'm sure that's part of the mountain of work that they're doing right now.